everybody, it's Paul Neese with the Raw Life Health Show. We have a great guest this week, and his name is Tim VanOrden. He's a raw food athlete, and he has some great information to share. Information no other raw fooders are talking about. He breaks down some of the myths about the raw food diet and what other raw food teachers are teaching, and he puts it into action, and he's successful at it. Now, if you want to see the whole interview in its entirety, just go over to www.rawlifehealthshow.com, and you can see it now or anytime in its entirety, plus many other videos with other special guests. Now, if you sign up as a free subscriber, you can see the video, but only for 24 hours. Part 1 is posted up there right now. Tomorrow I'll post part 2, and so on. So as a member, you get to see the whole video anytime. As a subscriber, you can see part 1 right now, and part 2 tomorrow, and so on. So everybody, go over to Raw Life Health Show right now and check it out. Here's just a little preview of the interview you can see when you become a member of the Raw Life Health Show.
Make a joke of it.
All right, everybody, here we are with Tim VanOrden. Tim, why don't you introduce yourself and tell everybody who you are?
I have a project online called the Running Raw Project, which is runningraw.com. It's essentially an experiment to show what's possible on a raw, vegan, whole, plant-based diet as an athlete. Started in 2005 to show that this diet was not only safe, but that you could do really amazing things as an athlete. So for me, when I first went raw, I was reading a lot of the raw books that were available, and there weren't that many at the time. There was yours, there was Nature's First Law, I forget what else. Not too long after that, Doug Graham's books came out. And I read everybody's books because I was absolutely curious, and I went to everybody's lectures that I could, and I started hearing a lot of inconsistencies, and I started hearing a lot of, I'm right, no, I'm right, no, I'm right, you're wrong, and everybody was battling with each other, and I said, wait a minute, either you're all wrong or only one of you is right, and I'm going to find out which one it is, or I'm going to find out if you're all wrong. So I started looking under the hood and going to universities and talking to professors in biochemistry, physiology, and asking them, you know, what happens when you eat this? What do enzymes actually do in the body? What about temperature and denaturing of proteins and enzymes? And I just would ask as many questions as I could. I'd get textbooks from university bookstores, or I'd go to the library, and I just started doing research. And the more research I did, the more I realized that we know very, very little about the body and diet, and most of the people that are writing books heard somebody else's theory, and then they just parrot that information to somebody else, and then that person writes a book using the information that was borrowed, and before you know it, 20 books have been written, and they were based on something that's not even factual. But now, you know, millions of people believe that this thing is true, and there's 20 books to prove it, and they've got references, but the original study was flawed. It was just a theory.
Here, you mentioned people out of fear, they run to buy a lot of different supplements and everything else. Tell us about the raw food you snake salesmen out there. Tell us, without giving any names, tell us what you're seeing out there, because I know this to be true, and you get around, and tell us, do you see this being like a major issue, and how people can really know what's really good, or what's just some snake salesman telling people it's good?
Oh, Paul. There's Mother Nature and there's Father Commerce. And if there's a price tag attached to what this person is telling you need to get healthy, run away. Yeah, it costs money to buy mangoes and kale, but not much. They're cheap, they're inexpensive, they're widely available, and you don't have farmers running around, you know, giving lectures about mangoes and kale, that my kale is better than your kale. It's just everybody knows kale's good. And they don't compete, and there's farmers all over the place. If somebody says they have the best kale ever, be scared. It's kale. And, you know, if it costs 10 times as much money, well, eventually you're going to run out. Because when I first went raw, I was doing all the superfoods, and it was so expensive it bankrupted me. I couldn't afford to keep it going. And not only that, but my performance wasn't that great. And I was always digesting, because I would have these major concoctions going on inside of me that my body didn't know what to do with. It wasn't in balance. It was too much of a good thing. It's not a good thing. Balance. Just because a little bit is good for you, that doesn't mean that a lot is better for you. But that's what we like to think, because we are looking for the shortcut. We're looking for the magic pill. But really what it comes down to is this, Paul. For me, I get really upset when I see charlatans and snake oil salesmen taking advantage of people that are desperate for healing. You don't come into the raw world unless you need a massive shift in your life. People are not just casually coming into raw saying, oh, I'll try it. My life is great. I'm healthy. I'm fit. I'm just going to try this raw thing just for the fun of it. No. You get people with some serious health problems and people with a desperate need to heal, to get their life back. And these people are being taken advantage of, and they're being fleeced, and they're being bankrupt by these people. And it really bothers me. And I'm not going to mention names, but man, those of you people that are doing this, how do you sleep with yourself?
Nature's wealth, good for your health. This is the Raw Life Health Show. Raw Life, brighten up your life.